What if the quarter in your pocket right now carries a story worth more than its face value and a piece of American defiance that almost no one notices? Imagine pulling a simple 2000 Maryland quarter from your change. It feels ordinary, cool metal, familiar weight, but as you flip it over, something shifts. The dome of an old state house rises from the coin like a beacon through time. White oak leaves frame it like silent guardians. And suddenly, you're not just holding money, you're holding a frozen moment from the birth of a nation. This isn't just another state quarter. This is the 2000 Maryland quarter, a coin that quietly tells one of the most resilient stories in American history. And today, we're diving deep into its secrets, its hidden power, and why collectors can't stop chasing it. Stay with me, because what this small piece of metal represents might just change how you look at every coin you touch from now on. The year is 2000. The United States Mint launches one of the most ambitious programs in its history. The 50 state quarters. Millions of Americans suddenly start checking their change like treasure hunters. Kids, parents, grandparents, all caught up in the excitement of discovering their state's story on everyday currency. Maryland was the 7th state honored, released on March 13, 2000. But this coin wasn't just about celebration, it was about remembrance. Picture this, it's 1788. Maryland becomes the 7th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, the Old Line State. That nickname didn't come from nowhere. During the Revolutionary War, George Washington himself praised Maryland's troops. When British forces were closing in, when others wavered, Maryland's soldiers held the line. They stood firm, buying precious time for the Continental Army to escape and regroup. Washington called them the Old Line. That phrase of unbreakable courage is forever etched on this coin. As the camera slowly zooms in on the reverse, you see it. The Maryland State House Dome in Annapolis, the oldest state capitol building in continuous legislative use in America. Its intricate architecture captured perfectly in metal. Every cupola, every curve telling centuries of decisions that shaped our country. Flanking it are branches of the white oak, Maryland's official state tree, strong, enduring, rooted deep in the earth, just like the values this state fought to protect. The inscriptions hit with quiet power. Maryland 1788 at the top. The Old Line State proudly displayed. A pluribus unum at the bottom. Out of many, one. Every element feels intentional, purposeful, like the designers knew they weren't just making a coin, they were crafting a miniature monument. On the obverse, the classic portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan stares forward with that familiar dignity. Liberty. In God we trust. $quarter. But when you hold the full coin together, the founder of the nation on one side, Maryland's defiant legacy on the other, it creates this perfect emotional bridge across time. A reminder that the revolution wasn't some distant fairy tale. It was fought by real people whose courage still echoes in the coins we spend without thinking. Now, let's get closer. Really look. Most people miss the hidden details that make this coin legendary among collectors. Zoom in on those white oak leaves. Notice the intricate veins, the subtle texture that captures the strength of nature itself. The dome isn't just a building. It's a symbol of stability, of government by the people, in a place where laws were debated that would define freedom for generations. And that Old Line State nickname, it carries the weight of soldiers who refused to break, even when the odds screamed otherwise. It's a story of resilience that feels incredibly relevant today. But here's where the suspense builds. Not every 2000 Maryland quarter is created equal. There are two main mints that produce these for circulation, Philadelphia with the P mint mark and Denver with the D. Philadelphia struck over 678 million. Denver produced around 556 million. That's over 1 billion coins. Sounds like they should be everywhere, right? And in circulation, most are still worth just 25 cents. But that's exactly what creates the thrill for collectors. The magic happens when you start looking for condition. A coin that's been through pockets, cash registers, and washing machines for 25 years. Probably face value. But find one in pristine, uncirculated condition with full original mint luster, sharp details on Washington's hair, crisp lettering, and that untouched dome. Suddenly, we're talking real collector value. High-grade examples in MS-67 or MS-68 can reach hundreds of dollars. The absolute finest certified pieces have sold for over 1,000 in top auctions. And then, there are the errors, the rare mistakes that turn ordinary coins into legends. Some 2,000 Maryland quarters were struck on wrong planchets, nickel planchets instead of the standard clad composition. Others missing a clad layer, showing that distinctive copper color underneath. Off-center strikes, die cracks, doubled dies. These aren't made-up stories. These are documented treasures that serious collectors hunt with passion. A verified wrong planchet error in high grade can command thousands. The kind of find that makes your heart race when you check your change. Grading services like PCGS and NGC have become the gatekeepers of this world. They examine every tiny detail under powerful magnification, surface quality, eye appeal, strike sharpness. A coin that looks good to your eyes might grade MS-65, but the ones that survive in perfect condition, those are the unicorns. They represent survival against time, against circulation, against the natural wear of everyday life. This is where collector psychology kicks in. It's not really about the money, it's deeper. Holding a high-grade 2000 Maryland quarter feels like touching history that refused to fade. It's nostalgia for the excitement of the state quarters program, the way it brought families together, sparked conversations about American history, and made millions of people look at their pocket change differently. There's an emotional attachment there, a sense of connection to the past, to the soldiers who held the line, to the ideals that built this country. Collectors will tell you, it's the hunt. The moment you spot something unusual, the research, the community, forums lighting up when a rare variety surfaces, the satisfaction of adding a beautiful piece to your collection and knowing its story will outlive you. But wait, here's a rehook that might surprise you. What if the real value isn't just in the rare errors or high grades? What if it's in the story this coin carries for all of us? In a world moving faster than ever, where history can feel distant, this little quarter pulls us back. It reminds us that ordinary people, soldiers, lawmakers, citizens, made extraordinary choices that shaped everything we have today. Visualize it in your mind. Soft, dramatic lighting on the coin. Slow-motion close-ups as light dances across the raised dome. The white oak leaves almost seeming to rustle. Washington's profile strong and steady. Background music swelling with patriotic yet intimate tones. B-roll of Annapolis at golden hour, Revolutionary War reenactments, families discovering coins together. The emotional weight builds naturally without needing exaggeration. This coin isn't flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. And that's what makes it powerful. In an age of digital noise, its quiet dignity stands out. It invites you to slow down, to look closer, to appreciate the layers. So, what should you do right now? Grab any 2,000 Maryland quarters you have. Examine them under good light. Check for the mint mark. Look at the details on the dome and leaves. Feel the edges. Notice the weight. If something looks off, unusual color, strange strike, extra sharp details, don't spend it. Get it checked by a professional. You might just have something special. The 2000 Maryland quarter proves that history isn't locked in museums. It's in your drawer, your wallet, your grandfather's old coin jar. It waits patiently for someone curious enough to discover it. As we close this journey, think about this. Every time you hold that coin, you're connected to soldiers who wouldn't break, to a state that helped birth a nation, to a design that captures resilience in metal. It's more than currency. It's a tangible piece of the American spirit, small enough to carry, powerful enough to inspire. If this story moved you, if it made you look at your change differently, hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into coins that carry forgotten stories. Drop a comment. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? What's the coolest quarter you've discovered? Share your stories below. I read every single one. Because who knows, your next ordinary quarter might turn out to be extraordinary. Thanks for watching. Keep hunting, keep discovering. And remember, the past is closer than you think. It's right there in your hand.